Painting practice. This exercise is to teach you how to get used to using your brushes, what the different brushes do, how much paint you need on your brush versus how much water you need on your brush. So to start, pick a variety of 5 different brushes, ranging in size and shape, and try to make the thickest line you can with that brush, the thinnest line you can with that brush, and then a standard medium line with that brush. While you're painting your brush strokes, try to notice how it feels. Do you need more paint on your brush, or do you think you just need more water? When does it get to that point that you get a dry brush stroke? The next step, we're going to measure out a rectangle that is 4 inches by 6 inches. We're going to paint this rectangle from top to bottom, bottom to top, using one color, a solid color. While you're making this long stroke from top to bottom or bottom to top, try to take note of what it feels like making that stroke. Feel the tension that is created when you're running out of paint or when you need more water. For this exercise, we're going to create a 4 by 4 square and fill the square with a solid paint of black, only going from left to right instead of top to bottom. Make sure you're choosing the best brush for the job. If I'm filling a large rectangular flat shape, I want to use a brush that is a flat brush. I want to use the largest brush that I can for the given job. This exercise, I'm going to measure a 4 by 6 rectangle followed by a 4 by 4 square. We're going to practice getting a gradient scale or a value scale that is blended. For the rectangle on the left, we will focus on going from light to dark, left to right. For the square on the right, we will focus on going light to dark, top to bottom. Again, choose the best brush for the job. To begin, get white paint and a tiny little bit of black paint in your palette. You're going to start by putting down a base coat on the left side of some white. Then dipping your brush into a little bit of black and blending those two together while they're still wet. This means you're going to have to work back and forth from left to right and right to left until those two are blended. You may also have to add a little bit more white to blend them out. Again, you have to work wet for this step in order to get them blended. When you're ready to move forward, dip your brush into a little bit more black paint and blend again. You're working gradually, left to right. Don't focus on over blending in your palette, but focus on blending in your paper surface. Remember, you may need to add water rather than paint. Start again with the base layer of white along the top, and then dip your brush into the tiniest bit of black and start blending the black into the white base coat that you had that is still wet. Continue this process by adding just a tiny bit of black at a time until you have created a gradient black to white or white to black value scale in your square. For the final exercise, you're going to draw 2 4x4 squares. If your paper is large enough, you can actually draw one 4x8 square and split it in half at the 4-inch mark. This exercise, you're going to practice creating a textured surface with your paint. So not just trying to get a smooth, gradual surface, but to try to actually create the texture instead. To do so, don't overmix your paint in your palette. Try playing around with swirling techniques or making different directional strokes. Layer dark upon light, light upon dark, and let the two paints mix together on the paper surface versus mixing in your palette. Again, the purpose of these exercises are to teach you how to figure out how much water versus paint you need on your brush, and to learn to blend while working with wet paint on the surface. Practice good brush care by not leaving your brushes in your water